it's Sherry. I am here with Hecate's Needle. Welcome to my Disaster of Craft Room. It is Thursday, April 17th, 2025. Welcome. First, I wanted to take a minute to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I actually hit 300 subscribers, and that blows my mind. When I started this, I didn't think anybody would care. Okay. To be perfectly honest with you, I didn't. I didn't think anybody cared what I had to say or what I had to show or what I was working on. So thank you. Thank you for subscribing. I love all of you. To those of you who haven't subscribed, welcome. Welcome. Everyone is welcome. This is my tiny little corner of the internet where I am trying to build a community full of kind, positive people who enjoy the same crafts that I do. So, welcome everyone. Now, let's get started. We are joined today by the lovely Artemis and the adorable little jelly bean who has made a nest on top of my whip pile. Now, I used to keep my whips in a wooden magazine rack, but when we moved, I don't know if the movers drove over it with their truck, but it was broken, and it was broken to the point where even the screws holding the pieces together were bent and mangled. So I'm not sure what they did to it, but in any case, I'm gonna have to get another one. So for now, my projects are just piled over in a corner over there, and Jellybean has decided they make a wonderful napping place. Yay! So today we have cross stitch. We have a little bit of sewing. Not that I've sewn anything, but I have received my sewing project of the month subscription, so I'll show you that. And gardening. I was asked to do a gardening tour, so I have done that. So you will see what I have to work with and what my plans are going forward. Now, I'm going to say, and this is not self-promotion, I used to have a garden channel. But life got in the way, and I haven't done anything on it in probably 2 years. One of the things that got in the way was surgery on both feet for bone spurs. So I was out of commission for quite a while with that. And then we started fixing up the inside of the house so that we could put it on the market to sell it. So the garden took a back seat. So did my gardening channel. Now, that being said, if any of you are interested in me getting back into doing the gardening channel, let me know. Just let me know in the comments below, and I will start that channel back up. I have no problem doing that. Matter of fact, my husband's been nagging me to do it, but we'll see what I do. It's okay for him to nag me to do it. He's not the one doing the editing and the filming and so, but if any of y'all are interested in that, I can certainly do it. Just let me know in the comments below. So, let's get started. We will start today with cross stitch. Always cross stitch. I worked on 3 projects this time. Now, I have been doing my checklist. I still have not finished everything for March, but as I said before, I will keep those things on the spin the wheel so that I will eventually get caught up. But I have been spinning the wheel. Now, as I mentioned before, when I spin the wheel and it lands on a project, each project has a set number of stitches that I want to get done for the month. And I have set these stitch goals because these are projects that I want to be finished. Now, my big, huge, full coverage piece, that one is not going to be finished this year. Okay, it's just not. And some of my bigger ones will probably not be finished until the end of the year. And as I said before, for every 3 finishes, I get to start one new project because I want to, I guess, whip down. I don't like having this many projects going at once, and I would like to get a lot of my small kits and patterns that I've kitted up done. I want to move them out of my stash and either display them or give them as gifts. So that's a thing. The only exceptions to that rule are going to be things that I'm stitching for Christmas gifts or birthday gifts or whatever, which the only birthdays I have left are my husband and my son. And as I mentioned, my son is just getting gift cards until he decides whether he's going to Germany or not. Because there's no point in me buying him things or giving him things if he's just going to be getting rid of everything and moving to Germany. So that whole mess. He still hasn't made up his mind, okay? But that's okay. Now, well, didn't we just get dark? Okay. Now then, I have worked on 3 different projects. Now the problem is I keep spinning the wheel and it lands on projects with big stitch count goals. Okay. The first one was, the first thing I worked on was my Dark Elf 1 by Winkin', Blinkin' and Odd. I did work on this. Now, I didn't, this is one I started like right before we moved. So I didn't get a lot done. So now I'm kind of playing catch up. But I did sit down and stitch 602 stitches on it. And that put me at 1 whole percent. But it is a huge one. I mean, this one is, it's well over 65,000 stitches, and it's 255 by 255 stitches, so it's a big one. I started from the top left corner, and this is what I've gotten done. I have done all of the black stitching on the first page and have started the dark midnight blue, which is indistinguishable from the black, so not really helpful, but that's what I have done so far. As I said, it's at 1%. Okay, it's just 1%. Now this is being stitched on a plain white 16 count Aida, all DMC floss. I think the colors are amazing. I do love the colors for this one. Let me pull it out. There's a lot of floss. But these are the colors. Gorgeous, gorgeous colors. I love them. And what I do with big full coverage pieces with lots of colors is I use cardstock and print it out. Okay. And I print out the symbol along with the color. And then I just punch a hole. I laminate it and punch a hole in it. That way I'm not pulling out, 100 floss drops. Because ain't nobody got time for that. But those are the colors, and I love them. I love this project. I love the artwork. It's just a matter of sitting down long enough to stitch it. Well, like I said, I did put in 602 stitches, and that squeaking has to stop. I'm sorry. So a good chunk of it I sat down and did a good chunk, and I'm very proud of myself. So that was our first project. The next one I worked on, I spun the wheel. And the next one I worked on was the Haunted Hollow Stitch Along by Stay Platinum Stitching. And the finished project looks like this. This was last year's Stitch Along that I did not finish. And I did not intend to finish it. It was fine. But I did put in 804 stitches on it. I now have a big glare from the window behind me, but I now have the entire first and second sections done. So you can see I put in these and then put in these. So definitely progress. I'm very happy with that. My goal was not even that many stitches, but I went ahead and just finished that second piece. This is being stitched on a 14 count Aida. It is a fabric by Witch's Garden Crafts in the colorway Lake Lanier. Now this is one of the fabrics I got in the Fabric of the Month Club last year, which I have canceled. One, because I was moving, and two, because I have enough fabric right now. I don't need any more. I want to use what I have, and then I'll see about, getting another Fabric of the Month. Maybe not with her, maybe with someone else, and maybe with her, because her fabrics are beautiful. They really are. She does a wonderful job. Now the third one I worked on was A Study of Skulls by The Stitch Crypt. Now this one I would have finished in time if not for Christmas stitching and moving. That's what happens. And I have not finished putting in my stitch goal for this one, but I just started working on it yesterday when I spun the wheel. I really need to get a board. I had one, but it got thrown away in the move. So this is what I've gotten thus far. Now, I already had this section and then all of this done, but now I've started on the rest of this shelf, and that's my goal. Before I put this away again, I want to finish this shelf. After this shelf, there's only one other shelf underneath it, and then this one will actually be finished. I only put in 283 stitches yesterday, but that puts it at 68% done. So I'm close to a finish on this one. And these pieces really stitch quickly. I mean, I extended out the shelf here and finished the skull after dinner last night. I didn't stitch that long, so very pleased with that. These go quick, and I really like how it's turning out. This is going to be a companion piece to my femurs and fungi that I did last year. But that's what I've gotten done on this, and I'm going to work on this some more because like I said, I want to finish that shelf. So once I finish that shelf, I'll move on and spin the wheel and work on something else. But those are the 3 projects I worked on. Now, I have mentioned this is a low buy year for me this year, and it is. I only bought one thing this past 2 weeks, and it was for a specific project. It was not just an impulse buy. But I had mentioned last time that I wanted to stitch this one. My husband wants this one for the kitchen, but I don't like the fabric they used. It makes it look kind of dingy and dark to me. And I had said I was toying with the idea of using a peach colored fabric and changing the color of the squares for the gingham look. And I'm definitely going to change those because those are in like a mustard yellow, which is not my favorite color. But I'd said I was thinking about a peach color. Well, I went ahead and ordered the peach fabric. And that is actually a good color representation there. So tell me what y'all think. If I change, because I'm thinking about changing the color of the mustard yellow squares for the gingham design to a teal blue to match my kitchen better. So what do you think with the peach colored fabric? I think I like it, but tell me what you think. But I did get that. And it's just a 16 count Aida. Touch of peach, Witchelt. Nothing fancy. So that's what I bought. That being said, I do have acquisitions. The first things I got, and my husband was looking over my shoulder when I was on everything cross stitch picking out that fabric, and he decided his wife needed 2 new patterns. And he said the reason why is because as soon as he saw them, they made him think of his wife. The first one is Peacock and Fig. Sarcasm, the perfect answer to every stupid question. He said that is me to a T. So, he decided I needed that one. The next one, another Peacock and Fig. No words needed. And this one is, if my mouth doesn't say it, my face probably will. And it's true. It's true. I can't help myself. But he decided his wife needed those. The man's funny, isn't he? And the last acquisition I got was actually a gift from my brother. Now, my brother makes things. He does woodworking since he is disabled and cannot work any longer. He used to do home health care for the elderly. But since he's lost parts of his feet due to diabetes, he can't do that anymore, and he's on disability. So what he does now is woodworking. And I believe he sells it, although I'm not sure where. I'll have to ask my mother. But he made me a seam ripper. Very nice, wooden handle seam ripper. Because he knows I sew and he knows I stitch. So he made me that. So that was my other acquisition. It's lovely. Very nice. He did a great job. So I got a new seam ripper. And you can never have too many seam rippers. It's a thing. So anyway, those are my acquisitions. Those are the projects I worked on. My plans are unchanged. I will continue doing what I'm doing. Spin the wheel. Meet my stitch goals. Spin the wheel again. I will be starting my Christmas stitching soon. Probably next month. I'm thinking next month. Because I'm not going to be sitting here on December 24th trying to finish a project. Not going to do it. So everything's going to be done early this year. But anyway, that's it for cross stitch. So if you only came for cross stitch, I'll see you later. Next up, we have sewing. I did not get any sewing done because I'm still sorting this mess out. Now I have made huge progress. And I'm getting there. But I did get, well, I didn't show last month's. Last month's, I get my monthly subscription, the Sewers Club, and it's just bags and projects like that. I didn't show last month's, so I figured I would show that. And then I also have this month's. Or did I show last month's? I don't remember. Maybe. Renee's Retreat bag. I love the fabric. It's very pretty. And the zipper hardware is also very pretty. Love that. And with these, you get everything. You get the interfacing, the fabric, the thread, the hardware, everything you need. Very nice. Here are the zipper pulls, and I got 2 of them. They're very pretty. I like them. The zipper is purple. Here's the thread. Really? Is it all that? And I'm going to throw everything in the floor because it wouldn't be me if I didn't. But here's the fabric. Very pretty. Okay, the light situation. Not working for me. But very pretty fabric. And then here is the accent fabric. I love it. Like I said, pretty fabric. I love the hardware. I'm looking forward to getting my sewing machine set up so that I can start sewing again. So that I can get some of these projects sewn. I've already got them put on a spin the wheel, just like my cross stitch. That way, I just spin the wheel, sit down and stitch, or sew. And I can get them knocked out because I'm getting way behind, and I don't like that. That was last month's. This month's I just got the other day. And it is the Blossom Box Bag. So, I love the fabric. Again, like I said, you get the interfacing. But the fabric is these pretty flowers and strawberries and a beautiful blue color. How did they fold this? I'm not sure. And then the accent fabric is just little strawberries on a white background. You've got a white zipper with the little heart shape on the zipper pull. And you've got a little tag that says handmade. So another cute bag. Completed size, 4 inches by 8 inches by 6 inches, so a decent size. But I got those. Now, as for sewing, like I said, now that I've finally gotten all but 2 of the boxes unpacked, I can actually access drawers and everywhere to start putting all the piles of stuff in the floor away, and that'll help. So hopefully this ordeal will be done soon. I can only hope. But that's it for sewing. So, on to gardening. The gardening, I have been asked for a garden tour. So that's what we're going to do today. I will show you what I'm working with and kind of go through some of my plants. So enjoy. Okay, I have been asked for a garden tour, so I'm thinking today's the day. So away we go. We're going to start in the front yard. So here is my front porch. As you can see, I've already got some house plants here. There will be more done with this, but you know, we've only lived here since 1st of February, so we're working on it. But as you walk out, this is the first thing we have redone. Now, originally this area was all like an azalea bush hedge, but all the azalea bushes were dead. And so we have dug all those up. We've replanted. Now it's not finished. We need to mulch. Possibly put in a few more smaller things. There is the lovely Artemis in the window. Now we've put in the button bushes, we put in some brugmansia, we've put in some daisies and dianthus and various things. We've tried to keep it all white, blue, and pink, but we'll see. And yes, I have a little fairy garden. I put fairy gardens everywhere, so there will be many more. Now, as you can see, this is also an azalea hedge. Now, I think we will be pulling it out. It is diseased all the way across. And so I think I will be digging it up and putting something else here as well. I'm thinking possibly some hydrangeas. It's also, I'm gonna warn you, the mondo grass is everywhere. All of that will go because it's highly invasive. As you can see, it's marching across the lawn. Again, we just have the trees. The mondo grass over by that tree will go away, and we'll just let the regular grass take over there. We have this line of trees, which I don't know if it's ours or our neighbors. We don't know. Now, the azaleas on the side of the house are all very healthy. They will stay. There is a poor, struggling little rose bush back here that I'm going to move. Although he seems to be leafing out okay, but he needs to be liberated. But I will probably move him to a better location. And then we have holly bushes here. This is a poor, struggling gardenia. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him yet. But again, the mondo grass. Believe me, that mondo grass is everywhere. Now on to the other side of the house. We have this little oleander. I need to trim the frost burnt tips off of him so that he can leaf back out. But he's fine, he's healthy, he'll stay there. As you can see, we've been clearing this tree bed out. It was full of weeds and things. As you can see, it's still full of weeds and things. We're working on it though. I have cut all the dead parts off the palm. That was a bush that my husband dug up because it was diseased and I'm allergic to it. Agave that was growing in there, but my husband hates agave. So he dug it out. We are actually giving this to someone else. They are coming to get it for their yard. This is a little crepe myrtle that seems to be doing fine. I will probably prune off some of the dead branches and things just so he can bush out. Now, this tree line, this is just a property barrier, but Our neighbor on this side of the house, very nice, and we've all just agreed it'll be a joint effort to clean it up, prune it, take care of it, and just keep it nice. But going through the gate into our backyard, ignore this mess. Ignore this mess. We're working on it. This is the first flower bed we worked on. I still need to cut off the dead leaves of this palm. And I can see that stupid Mexican petunia is sprouting back up, so I'll have to eradicate that. But the rest of it is planted, and it is fine. As you can see, lots of green coming on the palm. These are waiting to go under the trees in the front once we finish cleaning it out. That's catnip. It's going on the screened-in porch for certain fuzzy people. Lemon thyme, parsley, these miniature roses. We plan to do a bed around the mailbox, and those will go in there. A fig waiting to go in the ground. That plant will go under those trees. These two, one is a banana magnolia, one is a pink fairy magnolia. These are waiting to be planted out there. We have not tackled this bed yet. But the screened-in porch that the cats spend most of their days on, they absolutely, there's Hecate now. Hi, Teensy. Really? Is that so? My potting bench, which will probably not stay there, but for now it works. As you can see, all of these shelves and this random sink, that all needs to go in the garage, but my husband's working on it. That is the garage. Now over here behind the garage, we have, that is a citrus. It is a mandarin tree. That tree, we don't know what it was. It was dead when we moved in. My husband's going to get rid of it, and we're going to replace it with another citrus tree. I've got a Meyer lemon and a lime, so one of those will go there. These are our blueberry bushes. As you can see, they are taller than I am, and absolutely loaded with little berries. This one is apparently an earlier variety. As you can see, he's already starting to turn. So in a few weeks, we'll be able to get some berries from him. Now, we have not pruned these because they were already blooming when we moved in. So once they're done producing, I will prune them, cut out any dead wood, cut out any branches that are crossing and rubbing each other, and they will leaf out next year. They will be huge, actually, which is okay because free fruit. As you can see, this one, the smaller one here, he was really struggling when we moved in. Him, I went ahead and pruned, and as you can see, he managed to leaf out and produce some berries. But he was very small and struggling when we moved in. Now, there's another dead branch I'll have to cut off, but like I said, we're kind of waiting until after the harvest. And here's another one that was small and struggling that I've already pruned this one. So he's trying to leaf out, and that's fine. And then there are babies that have sprouted up, I imagine, from birds, and we're just leaving them there. That's a burn pile. From the last few storms, those are all branches that have fallen and we've gathered up and just put there, and my husband's going to deal with them. Now this corner here, we have to clean out. It's a mess. But this corner coming down this way, we want to put the raised beds and a bee garden because my husband would like to get bees again next spring. And this is where he's going to put their hives. That way they're readily accessible to the blueberries, to the garden, and everything. And then we're going to also do herbs and a bee garden here and raised beds, and we'll put some bird baths so that the bees have water, that kind of thing. That is the old defunct well. As you can see, the little well house is falling apart. My husband is trying to figure out what he wants to do with this. Because, like I said, it's falling apart. It's old. The well is no longer in use. We're on city water, so this has no purpose. Here's the vegetable garden that we've got thus far. Right now, there's just garlic, tomato, peppers, and tomatillas planted in it. We're going to put 2 more smaller beds here for other crops. One of them will have a trellis for vining crops like cucumbers and melons. And we put it here in the middle of the yard because, as you can see, this is the only spot of our yard that gets sunlight. I mean, unless we put it over there. But I figured this is best because there's a nice, big, wide area of sunlight for at least part of the day. And it's in the morning, which is better than the afternoon. So that's fine. That is our loquat tree. The frost killed the flowers, though, so we don't have fruit from it. That's a magnolia. This we thought was dead, but it is coming back, and it is a pear tree. Obviously, I have to cut all the dead wood off of it, and I will do that. But we wanted to wait just a bit to see what leaves out so that we know what to cut and how to try to shape it. As you can see, there are the girls, and they've been dirt bathing. They're in the corner. They have moved in, and they are perfectly happy here. Coming up this way. Now, this is a fig tree, and he's fine. This, I'm going to clean all of this out. I'm going to reposition that bird bath that was already here more to the center. And I'm going to do like a woodland forest garden in here. As you can see, I've already got that philodendron. I have another one just like it that I'll plant under here as well. We have all of these little sweet violets coming up in the yard. I want to dig up a bunch of those and plant them under here. Along with other things that I'll find, and I want to put some more ferns and hostas and things in here. But this will be more of a woodland flower bed. Those trees along the back of the house. Ignore the cooler. I'm short, and I was using it to reach the limbs to trim. And I haven't moved it back yet. This one is a mandarin, I believe. This one is a kumquat, and that one is a crepe myrtle. But those 3 have all been pruned and cleaned up, and they are happy as can be. This massive thing is just a whole big mass of pink and red camellias. So eventually we'll get to that and we'll clean it out because there are weeds and whatnot growing. And as you can see, there's some trash there in the corner that we need to clean up. And then we will redo the flower bed that stretches along the back of the house here. In these grow bags. Now these are the snowdrops that were growing. They were just popping up randomly throughout the yard. I went ahead and dug them up, and we will be planting them in here in this bed once we get to it. And of course we'll have to clean up the poor palm tree. This poor holly bush, I'm not sure what we're going to do with him. When we moved in, they had tied him with this cord right here. and it was tied all the way around to the point where it was cutting into the branches, and it just made a single, like, skinny little spike. Now we've cut the cord around it, but the poor thing, his growth is stunted. I'm not sure. What I may end up doing is just cutting off the top part and leaving this bottom part so that it can actually bush back out. Or I may cut off this bottom part and leave the top part and train it as a tree. I haven't decided yet. Now over here, this was a gardenia bush, but he was covered in sooty mold, and we did not want to keep that. This one also has a touch of it. It's an Indian hawthorn. My husband wants to dig that out. I'm allergic to that anyway, so he wants to dig that out. But all of this will be cleaned up. I will decide what I want to do with this poor little holly, clean up the palm tree, and we will figure out what we want to do with this bed, because part of it's shade, part of it's sun, which is fine. That's fine. This part is sun, that part is shade, so it may just be a gradual from shade plants to sun plants. I'm not sure yet. We will be making a gravel area around the hose to make it better accessible and to keep vegetation from growing up around it, because the spigot is very close to the ground, and we've already had to trim the plants around it just to reach it. So we'll be doing that. Now, all through the yard, what I intend to do is make gravel paths to everything. And I also want to add a mushroom garden, because I'd like to grow through, at least 3 different types of mushrooms, because we do eat a lot of mushrooms. My husband loves them. And so we want to do that, but we're going to have paths going through the yard leading to the various areas. And it will all be landscaped. Now, it will not all be landscaped this year, I can tell you. Because that's going to be a lot of work. And I'm old. So but that is the garden tour. That is what we've got going on back here and up in the front. Lots of work, as you can see, although I love gardening, obviously. I have a degree in it, so I must have enjoyed it somehow. And my husband also enjoys it. So that's the plan. That's what we're hoping to do. Now, it may take a couple of years, but that's okay. We're not going anywhere. We have found home. As you can see, there's a table there of plants that didn't make it. I need to get rid of those. The snow and frost in the middle of us moving really did a number on the plants. Normally, I would have put them inside to protect them from the cold and the winter, but I couldn't because we were moving. So, but there's the tour. As you can see, my husband needs to hang some more hooks so that we can put out our wind chimes and hanging plants and things. But yeah, that's what we've got going on. At least I have this nice corner of the screened in porch, is, from here there. Okay, maybe I should move the rocking chair there so that I can sit and stitch and enjoy the view. But we're working on it. We'll get there. And anyway, that is the garden tour. Okay, now you've seen what I'm working with. Don't get me wrong, I love our yard. I love our yard. Where we lived before, we had 0 trees. None. And no shade. We had I take that back. We had 1 magnolia tree and we had a fig tree, but no shade anywhere. And everything in our yard burned up. So we are loving having all of these trees. Absolutely loving it. Although my husband does not love the sweet gum. The spiky little gumballs are not his friend. Especially when he's mowing the lawn and one shoots out and ricochets off the tree and bounces back at him and he's dodging and ducking, and yeah, he's not a fan. But we do love having all the mature trees. And we're going to make the best of it. believe me. But that's the garden. That's our yard. So, on to life. Life is going. It's going. Everything's fine. Everything's good. As I said, I'm still unpacking the sewing room. The only thing left in the living room is literally my husband's stuff. And he's going to have to go through it, not me. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I've done the rest of the house. I'm not doing that. So that's just waiting on him. And then my daughter, she still has a handful of boxes she needs to go through. But I will give her credit. She has been giving lots of stuff to charity, although she still has way too much stuff. I'm sorry. But can I really talk when you think about this mess? So I just keep my mouth shut. But she has been going through her stuff and getting rid of stuff. So sending it off to charity. So that's something. But that's life. I mean, it just is what it is. We're loving the weather. The weather has been absolutely beautiful. We've had the windows open, although I can't open this window because there's no screen. Once, my husband did say this weekend he will put screens on the windows that don't have screens so that we can finish opening up the house, because my daughter's bedroom does not have screens either. And neither does the living room. So once we get screens on the windows, hopefully this weekend, he did say he would do it this weekend, and I'm going to hold him to it. We can really open up the house, and I'm looking forward to that. And of course, everybody loves the screened-in porch. All of the cats love it. And I have 3 hammocks out there for the 3 cats. I do need to get another dog bed to put out there for Artemis, because I don't think she wants to lay on the boards. I think she's spoiled and she likes a bed. So I'll get a dog bed to go out there. But first my husband has to put all the shelves and stuff into the garage. And that's why we've hung on to them. He wants to put them in the garage and use it to organize his things. So once he moves those, I can put a dog bed out there, and we will get a rocking bench or a bench swing to go out there so that we can sit and relax. That'll be nice. And then, of course, I will put more plants and whatnot out there. But that's all that's going on here. I want to say thank you to all my subscribers. I want to say thank you to those of you who just kind of tune in but haven't subscribed. That's okay. It's okay. I hope you did see something here you liked and that you will hit the subscribe button. I upload every 2 weeks, every other Thursday. And then I do extras, like if I get a mystery box. I have done those before. I always give flip throughs of books and things that I've gotten. So there are some extras. But in any case, thank you everybody for stopping by to see me, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.